Do you ever feel like you're a supporting character in the movie of your own life, constantly bending to the needs, the desires, and the expectations of others, while your own well-being quietly takes a backseat? What if the secret to reclaiming your personal power, your inner peace, and your authentic identity wasn't about being louder, more aggressive, or more demanding, but about mastering the quiet, profound, and often misunderstood art of walking away? Forget that feeling of being drained and undervalued. Today, we're going to unlock the two fundamental pillars that support this life-changing mindset, empowering you to set firm boundaries, find your true direction, and build a life of unshakable self-respect. Stay with me, because this is important. Beginning a journey of self-discovery and self-affirmation is a challenge that we all face at some point in our lives. And in this context, a crucial, often difficult, aspect is learning how to establish and maintain personal boundaries, and understanding the incredible power that lies in being able to say a clear, unapologetic no. So often, we can find ourselves trapped in a deeply ingrained habit of prioritizing the needs and desires of everyone else, frequently at the direct expense of our own interests, our own energy, and our own well-being. This video aims to explore the dynamics that often underlie this people-pleasing behavior, highlighting the profound importance of recognizing and respecting our own limits. We will discuss how the act of stepping away from toxic situations or draining relationships is not just a simple gesture of self-preservation, but also a powerful, declarative expression of self-respect and personal autonomy. Throughout this discussion, we will explore the various facets of this empowering process, considering how the ability to say no, combined with a clear direction in your own life, can fundamentally transform your relationship with yourself and with others, ultimately leading you toward a more authentic, fulfilling, and self-directed existence. Before we begin, if you find value in these kinds of conversations, please check that you're subscribed, and feel free to leave a comment with your own perspectives at any point during the video. Let's start. It's an intriguing and remarkably common phenomenon, isn't it? This tendency that so many of us have to dedicate our precious time and finite energy to others, often pushing ourselves well beyond our own healthy limits and neglecting our own fundamental needs. But what is truly at the root of this behavior? For many, it could be an internal search for personal validation, a deep, often subconscious, longing to be valued, needed, and accepted by those around us. Or perhaps, some people come to believe that their self-esteem is intrinsically, almost completely, linked to how they are perceived by others. This excessive concern with the perceptions of others can quickly become a debilitating psychological trap. When you care too much about what everyone else thinks, you run the very real risk of losing your own authentic identity. You can become a mere reflection of others' expectations and opinions, as if your very existence, your right to take up space, depends entirely on their approval. This can be utterly exhausting and, in many cases, it leads to a vicious, soul-crushing cycle of relentlessly pursuing external recognition and approval. This journey in search of acceptance can be motivated by various deep-seated reasons. Some may feel fundamentally insecure about their own inherent worth, thus becoming dependent on external validation to feel worthy or good enough. Others may have grown up in environments where love, attention, and approval were conditional, only given when they met others' expectations, leading them to believe that this is the only way to be loved, respected, or valued. However, it's absolutely crucial to recognize that this constant, anxious pursuit of others' approval is often a lonely and deeply unsatisfying path. It's much like trying to fill a vast inner void with something that's always just out of reach. Something external that can never truly satisfy an internal hunger. The ultimate key to breaking this exhausting cycle often lies in developing a healthier, more compassionate relationship with oneself, and in learning to truly value your own opinions, your own needs, and your own desires. By doing so, one can begin to embark on a path of greater authenticity and profound personal satisfaction. A path where the opinions of others are just one part of the whole picture, and certainly not the defining factor of one's happiness and self-esteem. Many of us, at some point, find ourselves giving away our time and energy too freely. But why does this happen? Is it truly a search for self-affirmation, or is it a deep-seated desire to simply be appreciated? If you often find yourself in this situation, feeling drained and resentful, I want to share with you a valuable core strategy to reclaim your personal sovereignty and your self-esteem. This strategy is simply known as the mindset of walking away. Now, that might seem somewhat abrupt or even harsh, but in certain circumstances, it's an absolutely necessary step to reaffirm your personal power and protect your inner peace. Throughout life, we encounter all various kinds of people. Some, unfortunately, do not respect boundaries, no matter how clearly you state them. Others can be overly dependent, creating a one-sided dynamic, and some, regrettably, can even be cruel, manipulative, or selfish, showing these people, through your actions and your resolved presence, that you are perfectly willing and able to walk away not only powerfully reinforces your independence but also allows you to regain control over your own life and your emotional well-being. The incredible power of the walking away mindset is strengthened and made possible by two absolutely fundamental pillars. First, the ability to confidently say no, and second, the presence of a clear direction in your own life. If you find that you tend to get lost in the desires and demands of others, or worse, consistently feel used, taken for granted, or even abused, it likely indicates a struggle with refusing requests and perhaps a lack of a defined personal purpose. Let's break down those two pillars. Firstly, let's talk about the assertive power of no. This simple, two-letter word is one of the most powerful tools in the entire art of setting healthy boundaries. It's simple, it's direct, and it is incredibly effective. By saying no clearly and respectfully, you communicate your needs, your preferences, and your limits without ambiguity. This act of self-affirmation is absolutely essential for maintaining healthy, balanced, and respectful relationships. It's a declaration of your personal independence, powerfully showing that you are in control of your own choices and your own actions. No is so much more than just a refusal. It's a profound act of self-respect and self-awareness. It allows us to consciously reject situations that displease us, commitments that would overburden us, and behaviors from others that disrespect us. This word, when used assertively and calmly, is a clear sign of inner strength and quiet confidence. Secondly, let's talk about direction. Direction is the element that guides us to where we truly want to go in life. Both literally and metaphorically, it is your internal compass. Having a clear direction means having personal goals, deeply held aspirations, and a tangible sense of purpose that energizes you. Knowing where you are headed makes it infinitely easier to make decisions day to day, and to consciously choose paths that align with your core values and your ultimate objectives. A clear direction gives us focus, helping us to naturally avoid time-wasting distractions and to steer clear of negative or draining influences that would pull us off our chosen course. Together, the power of no and the clarity of direction form an incredibly powerful combination. While your ability to say no acts as a shield, protecting you from unwanted external influences and demands, your clear direction acts as your compass, consistently keeping you on the path toward achieving your goals and fulfilling your dreams. These two concepts are absolutely crucial for maintaining your personal integrity and for courageously following a path that is truly authentically your own, if you find yourself frequently yielding to the whims of others, or, in more severe cases, feeling exploited, manipulated, or abused by them, this might strongly indicate a fundamental difficulty in asserting no and a corresponding lack of clear direction in your life. These are critical warning signs that deserve your immediate attention and deep, honest reflection. The inability to say no often stems from a deep-seated desire to please others, an intense fear of conflict, or from the misguided belief that our own needs and desires are somehow less important or less valid than those of others. This behavior, though it may seem harmless or even nice at first, can lead to a draining cycle of self-denial and simmering resentment. And it can create an environment that is unfortunately conducive to being used or abused by less scrupulous individuals. On the other hand, a lack of personal direction can often be the result of deep-seated uncertainties, a lack of genuine self-awareness, or a fear of pursuing our true interests and passions. Without a clear direction of our own, it's incredibly easy to be swayed by the will, the objectives, and the agendas of other people, thus missing the precious opportunity to live a life that is truly, authentically our own. Recognizing these patterns in yourself is the crucial first step towards transformative change. It begins with strengthening your self-esteem and your self-awareness, and with clearly understanding what you truly value and desire for your own life. From that solid foundation of self-knowledge, we can then begin to consciously practice assertiveness, learning to say no when necessary, and learning to set and courageously pursue our own goals and aspirations. Indeed, the inability to say no and the lack of clear direction can lead to a less firm and assertive stance in all areas of life. When we aren't firmly anchored in our own values and objectives, we become far more susceptible to the influence and the interests of others. This lack of inner firmness can be perceived by those around you and, in some cases, unfortunately, exploited. When people notice this absence of a strong internal compass in someone, they may, consciously or unconsciously, feel encouraged to impose their own wills and objectives onto that person. This can occur subtly or more directly, but the end result is often the same. You might find yourself living a life that is more a reflection of others' expectations and desires than of your own authentic aspirations. It's important to emphasize that having a direction in life doesn't mean having a rigid, inflexible plan or an unchangeable vision of the future that causes you stress. It simply means having a sense of purpose, of knowing what is fundamentally important to you, and of consistently making decisions that align with those core values and objectives. Direction provides a guide, that internal compass we spoke of, that helps you to navigate the inevitable complexities and challenges of life with greater confidence and integrity. The ability to say no, on the other hand, is that essential act of self-affirmation. It's about recognizing and honoring your own limits, your own needs, and your own desires. Saying no is not just a rejection of something you find unwanted, it's also, and perhaps more importantly, a powerful affirmation of yourself and what you truly value. Now, possessing this internal compass and shield is the foundation. But how do we apply this in the real world, especially when confronted by different types of challenging personalities or the subtle ways they can pull us off our path? That's the next crucial layer we need to explore. So, with the power of no as your trusted shield and a clear direction as your internal compass, you now possess the foundational tools to begin walking away from what doesn't serve you. But what does this look like in practice, especially when you're faced with specific types of challenging people, or even the subtle internal guilt that can arise when you start prioritizing yourself? And how do we move from simply understanding this powerful mindset to truly, deeply living it every single day? That's precisely where we'll venture next. First, let's consider the alternative. When people around you notice someone's lack of firm commitment to their own personal goals, they may, often unconsciously, start to view that person's time as less valuable than their own. It's a subtle but powerful psychological shift. This perception can lead to a harmful dynamic where it's almost expected that you will consistently prioritize the needs, the desires, and sometimes even the whims of others above your very own. Such a situation not only diminishes the perceived importance of your time and your efforts, but it can also establish a dangerous, self-perpetuating pattern where your own goals and aspirations are consistently put on the back burner. Gathering dust, this dynamic can be incredibly subtle and is often not done with any malicious intent from the other party. However, it still reinforces the damaging idea that the needs of others are inherently more important than yours, which can lead to a draining cycle of self-neglect and simmering resentment. When you spend most of your precious time and finite energy meeting the expectations of others, you might very well end up missing the irreplaceable opportunity to invest in yourself, in your own goals, in your own becoming. This situation powerfully highlights the absolute importance of developing and nurturing that strong sense of direction and purpose we spoke of. Having clear, personal goals that you are passionate about helps you to naturally establish healthy boundaries and to make daily decisions that authentically reflect your own priorities. This doesn't mean you become selfish or that you start ignoring the legitimate needs of others. It simply means finding a healthy, sustainable balance between generously helping others and diligently taking care of yourself and your own mission. Moreover, learning to truly value your own time and your own efforts is absolutely crucial. This involves deeply recognizing your inherent worth and the profound importance of your own goals and aspirations, separate from your usefulness to anyone else. By genuinely valuing yourself, you implicitly, yet powerfully, teach others to do the same. From the perspective of those who might see others as less committed to their own goals, there may arise the convenient notion that, by dedicating your time to meet their demands, you are, in a way, using your time usefully by serving their interests. This view is deeply problematic because it places the value of your time and your efforts solely in the context of its usefulness to others, and not in relation to your own satisfaction and personal growth. This mindset can lead to the damaging belief that your worth is intrinsically tied to your ability to be useful to other people, rather than you recognizing your inherent, unconditional value as an individual. Such an approach not only minimizes the importance of your own aspirations and needs, but can also lead to a significant loss of self-esteem and a deep, pervasive feeling of dissatisfaction with your own life. It's absolutely essential to recognize that being useful to others is just one of the many ways to spend your time valuably. The true value of your time also powerfully manifests when you are diligently working toward your own goals, taking essential care of yourself, or simply doing things that bring you genuine joy and personal satisfaction. By dedicating yourself intensely and intentionally to a personal goal, a mission that you define, you are engaging in a profound journey of significant self-appreciation. This dedication not only reflects a clear definition of your personal priorities, but also resonates outward as a powerful affirmation of the value you place on your own time and your own life. This stance sends a strong, clear signal, both to yourself and to those around you, indicating that each minute of your day is precious and should be used in a thoughtful, purposeful, and meaningful way. This choice to live with a clear purpose fundamentally changes how others perceive you. People will start to see someone who makes conscious, deliberate choices about how to invest their time, someone who is not perpetually available to be indiscriminately consumed by the whims and demands of others. Instead of being perceived as merely a convenient, available resource for others to use, you are seen as a sovereign individual, with your own legitimate desires, powerful ambitions, and engaging passions. Committing to your own goals has several other marked advantages. First, there's the profound sense of authenticity and integrity. Your actions and your choices begin to genuinely reflect your internal values and beliefs, providing a deeply satisfying sense of living a true and meaningful life. Second, this dedication naturally fosters a powerful increase in self-respect, and consequently, in the respects that others have for you. When you clearly demonstrate that you value your own time and your own mission, you naturally, almost effortlessly, teach others to do the same. Furthermore, this attitude of unwavering commitment can serve as a powerful source of inspiration for those around you. Observing your focused effort and the positive achievements that often come from it, you become a powerful, positive example, perhaps even encouraging others to more courageously pursue their own dreams and passions. There's also the crucial aspect of establishing healthy boundaries. By being deeply dedicated to your own goals, you more easily learn to say no to those demands and requests that simply don't align with your core priorities, thereby maintaining a healthy, sustainable balance between generously meeting the legitimate needs of others and diligently meeting your own. Furthermore, maintaining a clear focus on your personal goals and aspirations is an incredibly effective strategy for walking away from situations where your boundaries are consistently violated or where you are being subjected to abuse or disrespect. This ability to steer away from harmful environments is crucial in all aspects of life, whether in the workplace, in marital relationships, or even within friendships. In a professional context, for instance, having a clear sense of your own direction and your own value can help you to identify when a work situation is becoming toxic or detrimental to your well-being. Whether it's due to colleagues who don't respect your boundaries or an excessive and consistently unbalanced workload, knowing when and how to strategically step back, or even to leave entirely, can be absolutely vital for your long-term mental health and career progression. Similarly, in your personal relationships, such as marriages or close friendships, the ability to stay true to your own goals and core values helps you to more clearly identify when these relationships are becoming one-sided, draining, or genuinely harmful. It can often be incredibly difficult to recognize and admit that a close relationship is doing more harm than good. However, by consistently focusing on your own needs and your own defined goals, you become more adept at realizing when it's time to withdraw and to seek healthier, more balanced, and more reciprocal environments and relationships. This ability to step away is not just a form of self-preservation, it is a profound act of self-respect. It involves clearly recognizing your own worth and deeply understanding that you deserve to be in situations and relationships that are respectful, supportive, and reciprocal. By incorporating these concepts into your life's narrative, the message you convey, both to yourself and to the world, is one of empowerment and dignified self-defense. It encourages you to consider the immense importance of protecting yourself from harmful situations and to recognize the value of seeking out environments that actively promote your well-being and your personal growth. Being focused on your own path has the remarkable effect of reducing that excessive, often anxious, concern with the affairs and opinions of others. When you truly concentrate on yourself, on your own growth and your own mission, the compulsive need to seek external approval diminishes significantly. You begin to understand, on a deep, soul level, that the only person you really need to prove anything to is yourself. This kind of profound self-knowledge and quiet self-confidence is incredibly liberating and absolutely fundamental to building an authentic, purposeful, and genuinely fulfilled life. Walking away from abusive people and destructive environments is a powerful way to protect your self-respect and your personal integrity. This is never a sign of weakness, rather, It is a clear demonstration of immense strength and courageous self-awareness. By making this difficult but necessary decision, you are consciously choosing not to allow your precious mental health and your fundamental well-being to be compromised by toxic situations or draining relationships. This attitude also sends a clear, powerful message to the world around you. You are in control of your own life. You decide who and what deserves your time and your energy. This doesn't mean you don't care about or love your friends, family, or partners. On the contrary, it shows that while you deeply love and value your important relationships, you are not fundamentally dependent on them for your own happiness or your core sense of self-worth. Establishing and consistently maintaining healthy boundaries is a way of powerfully demonstrating that you respect yourself and that you expect the same fundamental respect from others. Adopting the stance of being willing to walk away in negotiation situations also sends a powerful message. Especially in a business or professional context, this attitude signals to the other parties involved that you have other options and that, while you may be interested, you are not wholly dependent on that one specific deal for your progress or success. This is a clear demonstration of quiet confidence and what's often called an abundance mindset, which can be incredibly influential in any negotiation. The abundance mindset is not necessarily based on already having a lot of money, a vast array of possessions, or a huge social circle. Instead, it's about an internal perspective, a deep-seated state of contentment and confidence in one's own ability to achieve, to create opportunities, and to be whole regardless of a single outcome. When you operate from this empowering viewpoint, you radiate a sense of calm self-assurance and self-sufficiency that can be very attractive and persuasive to others. This concept also applies beautifully in our personal relationships. Loving and valuing the people in your life is natural and immensely important. But it's crucial to understand that you don't need them for your own fundamental happiness or your core sense of worth. This deep understanding allows you to establish healthier and more balanced relationships, free from the burdens of excessive dependency or neediness. In any negotiation, the authentic willingness to walk away and to take that possibility seriously is often the strongest position you can hold. This is because it clearly demonstrates that you are making a conscious, rational choice, not acting out of desperation or necessity. By being fully prepared to leave the negotiation table if the conditions are not favorable or respectful, you maintain control and integrity over the situation. This powerful stance not only significantly increases your chances of achieving a more favorable outcome, but also ensures that, regardless of the ultimate outcome, you remain in a position of power, peace, and self-respect. You win by steadfastly maintaining your standards and respecting your own well-defined boundaries. If you enjoyed this content and these insights into building a more empowered and self-respecting life, please take a moment to leave a like on this video and consider subscribing to the channel for more Stoic wisdom designed for modern challenges. We'd also love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. What's one boundary you're committed to upholding in your life? Stay serene, and we'll see you in the next one.